So they announced a new Blade and Soul Neo event today, including a 75 gold vouchers, 90 of each of the elemental powders, and finally free bound superior skills book selection chests. These are selection chests, they're not random, so everybody will be finally be able to get their blue skills and one random purple skills and a costume. It's alright. I think overall this is a pretty good event. It's a pretty simple one to complete. Obviously, this event is not quite good enough to bring people back if they have already decided they quit the game. If they already uninstalled, they're like, this is whatever, they're not going to come back. I fully understand that, right? I don't expect to. But I think for the people who are still playing the game, I think this event is absolutely massive. Not just because of the reward, because this is a step in the right direction for the game. This is essentially what you can expect moving forward on from every event from now on, right? It's an actual event that they kind of designed with like a graphics. I understand like the event might not have designed very well, the graphics might not be very good, but it's an expectation being set moving forward on what you can expect to see in the futures, and I think that part is huge. You can probably expect the next event to have similar reward, maybe better, maybe this random ass purple chest can be like selectable and stuff like that, right? I understand that people are like pushing really hard for like a selectable purple because of the things I've done in the past and how it feels unsatisfied. But for the most part, I think this event as an individual event is fine. If it wasn't for the fact that people has been pushing really hard for really good stuff because we have been kind of getting effed over, I'll say this is a really good event. In addition to that, they also start doing daily bot cleanup report. This is one of the things I called out that Taiwan actually do in my previous video. They announced a daily amount of bots they banned, and this is something that they're doing now, and this is really good. It's just basically being more transparent with the game. Like, I understand that they're not banning a lot of bot per day, but at least they're showing that they're doing something, or they're trying to show that they're doing something, and this is a good sign for the future of the game. The Serpent Speedrun event is not too difficult to do. You just have to do one dungeon every single week. The gimmick is that you have to complete them under 10 minutes. So for the first week, it's going to be the Chef Tay dungeon, the Black Ram Supply Chain Support Team dungeon, and you have to complete this under 10 minutes for it to count. Now, this is actually not too difficult. I imagine most people should be able to do it. If you're used to doing 15 10-minute run, keep in mind that you need to wait for everyone before you start a dungeon. So back in the day, people would like to just run in and wait for people at the first boss, and that start the timer ticking. So remember that for this event in particular, you want to wait for everyone at the door before you go in. You want to go in together and make sure you guys are running through the dungeon together, and everyone should be trying their hardest to get through the dungeon as fast as possible. The other tips I would give for people is that there is a major roadblock here for people that some people are unable to jump over. For the purpose of this event, I recommend everyone should just gather around and kill all the mob, just in case someone couldn't make it. It'll be a lot easier than trying to depend on everyone to try to make the jump. In fact, the timer actually does not start until you have come into contact with your first mob. So as soon as you can see, I come into contact with the first mob, the timer starts. So you can actually wait for everyone around here as well. So this is how you can get past the 10-minute requirement. Overall, I think the 10-minute requirement should not be too hard if you're in a decent group. It doesn't have to be really strong. Just make sure that you're waiting for everyone before you start. Everyone are so used to just running in and starting the timer, and the timer end up being like 15 minutes, and they're like, oh, this is gonna be hard. But just wait for everyone before you start. I think 10 minutes should be relatively easy to achieve for both the Chef Tay dungeon and the Poharan dungeon. Right, so for the second week, it's going to be for the Poharan dungeon. You only have to run this once to accomplish the reward and stuff like that, and you'll get all of these stuff done. The final week, of course, we have cold storage, and I think this is where some of the concern is. First of all, cold storage is a dungeon that is a little difficult. Some people are concerned about the 10-minute timer, but the 10-minute timer actually isn't a problem. If you can beat cold storage, it'll guarantee be under 10 minutes. That's because the boss have a 4-minute in range. So if you can beat cold storage, it will always be under 10 minutes. So these two is actually fake, like doesn't matter. If you can beat cold storage, it will always be under 10 minutes. Of course, the problem is, do you have the DPS to be 10-minute cold storage, or do you have the DPS to be cold storage in general? Now, as of right now, I think pugs are still working their way to cold storage, so it's hard to say. This part of the event might be a little bit of a struggle for some of the weaker players, and you have to complete all 3 of them to get the purple chest and the costume and the 25 gold. So it's very important that you also complete the cold storage portion of the event. I'm hoping that in 2 weeks, from the reward that people are getting on these two, and that people are also naturally progressing, that most people should be able to get cold storage done naturally in 2 weeks. Keep in mind that, once again, cold storage, when it comes down to cold storage, level is the biggest difference maker. So like, there's a level difference between you and the boss. Hitting something like level 51, hitting level 52, maybe even higher, would make it significantly easier for the cold storage. And in 2 weeks, the weaker people should be getting strong enough to do minimum DPS, or maybe even like slightly below minimum DPS, while the strong people should be getting to the point where they're really strong to be able to carry the noob people. So I think most people should be okay. We'll see what happen exactly in 2 weeks, that if this is easily be doable by pugs. And keep in mind that if you're someone who is weak, if you're a newer player, asking for a carry probably will help a lot. If you go to the party finder and do like 10-minute event, need help, I think people will be really willing to help out. Oh, right here. Oh, this guy said checking gear, but 10-minute event need help. I think people will be really willing to help. These two dungeons are so easy that I feel like it's fine to just bring like a few noobs around. And if you really need help, I do have a looking for a group Discord that you can ask for help, and I think people will be really willing to help you out. Bound random purple chest. Obviously I would have loved to see this would be selectable instead. We have talked it many times that a random purple chest is technically not as valuable as a selectable blue chest. I say technically because if you do high roll a purple books, it could be really good. But most people don't come in with the expectation of rolling. So far, I have never gotten any good thing off my purple chest. But if you're playing with a group of friends and one of you guys gets something, that could be something to hype over about. I think I would have loved to see this with selectable instead. But for the most part, this event is done really well. So props to the team to actually bringing this out. Bound random purple chest. Obviously I would have loved to see this would be selectable instead. We have talked it many times that a random purple chest is technically not as valuable as a selectable blue chest. I say technically because if you do high roll a purple books, it could be really good. But most people don't come in with the expectation of rolling. So far, I have never gotten any good thing off my purple chest. But if you're playing with a group of friends and one of you guys gets something, that could be something to hype over about. I think I would have loved to see this with selectable instead. But for the most part, this event is done really well. So props to the team to actually bringing this out. Let me know, but also be sure to let the developer know what you think about the event in their Discord. I think this is the right step in the right direction, and giving them the feedback of like this event is actually appreciated will be really big for both of us and their morale as well. So they will know that they can continue bringing these stuff in the future. Maybe they'll show the Korean developer like, hey, this event has really positive feedback, and it show them that it is retaining player and stuff like that. So they'll continue doing more stuff, maybe bigger stuff in the futures. Once again, try to keep it positive. I personally don't really like it when you surround yourself with so much negativity. Understand that the event is not going to be pleasing for everyone. Some people expect more, some people expect the event to be easier to do and stuff like that. But overall, I think it's a pretty good event. So keep it positive, let the developer know, let the feedback and stuff like that.